Hey everyone, welcome back to Rocky Goes to Hollywood. Today we're spotlighting one of the most iconic and trailblazing actresses in sci-fi and beyond, Sigourney Weaver. From battling aliens in deep space to redefining what it means to be a strong female lead, Weaver carved out a legendary career with intelligence, intensity, and incredible versatility. But there's so much more to her story than Ripley and ray guns. In this video, we'll uncover the moments that shaped her life, her rise in Hollywood, and her impact on the film industry. So gear up and get ready. We're heading into orbit to explore everything you need to know about Sigourney Weaver. Susan Alexandra Weaver was born on the 8th of October 1949 in Manhattan. Her parents were Elizabeth Inglis and Sylvester Weaver. Weaver eventually adopted the stage name Sigourney from a classic of American literature, The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. In the novel, one of the supporting characters is the protagonist's aunt, Sigourney Howard. Weaver first began using this name at age 14. Weaver's mother was an English actress who began her career with the BBC before emigrating to Hollywood. Unfortunately, she never attained the level of success her daughter would later enjoy and eventually stepped away from acting to devote herself to raising her two children. Weaver's father, known professionally as Pat Weaver, served as president of NBC TV for 2 years during the 1950s. Interestingly, he played a key role in shaping a format in American television that remains popular to this day: the talk show setup, where the host sits behind a desk and the guest is seated on a couch beside it. Sigourney Weaver studied at Sarah Lawrence College, Stanford University, where she earned a BA in English, and the Yale School of Drama, where she completed a Master of Fine Arts degree. While at Yale, she studied alongside Meryl Streep. Despite what one might assume about Weaver, given the dark sci-fi film series that first brought her fame, much of her time in higher education was spent performing in light-hearted comedies. One of her classmates was the absurdist comedy writer Christopher Durang, and Weaver was often cast in his plays. In fact, this background was a key reason she chose to take on the Ghostbusters films. After her work in intense action roles, she was eager to return to comedy. At the beginning of her screen career, Weaver appeared in a handful of commercials and television roles, including a part in the soap opera Somerset. Her first appearance in a feature film came in 1977, with a small, non-speaking role in Woody Allen's romantic comedy drama Annie Hall. In 1979, Weaver landed the role that would change her life: Ellen Ripley in Alien. This groundbreaking performance not only established her as a leading lady, but also helped redefine the action and science fiction genres. Warren Beatty is credited with connecting Sigourney Weaver to the Alien production in the first place. Ridley Scott has said Beatty had seen Weaver perform on stage and went on to recommend her to David Giler, one of the film's producers. Though relatively unknown at the time, her commanding presence and ability to bring emotional depth to Ripley turned the character into an iconic heroine, opening the door for strong female leads in action films. Weaver almost didn't land the role of Ellen Ripley, though. What might surprise you is that her main competitor for the part was none other than Meryl Streep, her former college mate at Yale. According to Ridley Scott, Weaver secured the role over Streep for a heartbreaking reason. At the time, Streep was mourning the loss of her fiancé, John Cazale, best known from The Godfather. After a prolonged battle with cancer, he passed away and Streep was too grief-stricken to accept the role. The rest, as they say, is history. Fans of Ghostbusters might be intrigued to learn something about the moment when Dana Barrett transforms into a dog. Like many of the moments in the film, it wasn't originally in the script. The idea came after Weaver had misunderstood the script and, at her audition, acted out turning into a dog, even biting some of the furniture. This persuaded director Ivan Reitman to change the script and have Dana and Louis change into the Terror Dogs. Before critics and fans hailed Aliens as one of the best sequels ever made, it was a troubled production. Much of the tension stemmed from the film's crew, who had reservations about the largely unknown director James Cameron. Made up of mostly Brits, the crew was fiercely loyal to Ridley Scott and the original Alien film, viewing Cameron as both too young and an outsider. Weaver, however, had a much more positive relationship with Cameron. He was open to her ideas about how Ellen Ripley should be portrayed and how she should respond to the events in the film. While Cameron didn't agree with every request, both he and Weaver praised each other for their ability to listen, compromise, and communicate effectively. Weaver's support for Cameron paid off, as anyone who has seen Aliens can attest. Weaver's respect and admiration for gorilla researcher Diane Fossey didn't end with her portrayal of her in Gorillas in the Mist. She has remained a dedicated supporter of the Diane Fossey Gorilla Fund, which has named her its honorary chairperson. Weaver also gave a subtle nod to her previous role in Gorillas in the Mist while filming Working Girl, which she took on immediately afterwards. In one scene, her character is seen holding a toy gorilla, a playful reference to her earlier performance. Weaver holds a rare distinction in film history. She is one of the few individuals to have received 2 Academy Award nominations in the same year. In 1989, she was nominated for Best Actress for her portrayal of Diane Fossey in Gorillas in the Mist, and for Best Supporting Actress for her role in Working Girl. Although she didn't take home an Oscar, she did win the Golden Globe for both performances, becoming the first of only 4 actresses to win 2 Golden Globes in a single year. In addition to those nominations, the Academy had previously recognised Weaver with a Best Actress nomination for Aliens, the first time in the history of the awards that an actress was nominated for a role in an action film. Weaver had appeared in 4 films that received a nomination for Best Picture: Annie Hall, Avatar, Avatar: The Way of Water, and Working Girl. Of these, only Annie Hall went on to win the Oscar. There's an unforgettable moment in Alien Resurrection where Ellen Ripley walks away from a basketball net, casually tossing the ball over her shoulder, and it lands perfectly in the hoop. She was determined to perform the stunt herself, attempting it over dozens of takes. Just as the crew was ready to give up, Weaver managed to land one final try, and she nailed it. That take made it into the film. In 1999, Weaver starred in the sci-fi parody Galaxy Quest alongside Tim Allen and Alan Rickman. Playing the blonde-haired Gwen DeMarco, Weaver wore a wig for the role, and humorously remarked that she felt her IQ drop every time she donned it to portray DeMarco. Despite this, it was clear that Weaver had a special connection to the character. After filming Wrapped, she kept the wig as a memento. Weaver's co-star Tim Allen, a huge fan of her work, particularly Alien, took every opportunity between takes to ask her for autographs on some of the Alien memorabilia he had collected. Sigourney Weaver has had such a prolific career that she's appeared as herself in several films and television series. These include SpongeBob SquarePants, The Meyerowitz Stories, Call My Agent, and Finding Dory. Weaver's impact on pop culture extends far beyond her iconic roles in film. One notable example is American musician Mike Garrigan, who was so moved by Weaver's career and legacy that he wrote a song in her honour. The track, named Sigourney Weaver, serves as a tribute to the actress's influential contributions to cinema. On the 1st of October 1984, Weaver married stage director Jim Simpson, and she gave birth to her only child, a daughter named Charlotte, on the 13th of April 1990. On the 16th of December 1999, Sigourney Weaver was honoured with her own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, located at 7021 Hollywood Boulevard. And that's a wrap on the fearless, phenomenal Sigourney Weaver. I hope you enjoyed this look into her life and legacy. If you've got a favourite Weaver role or behind the scenes story, drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to support the channel. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, bye for now.